Well, hello again, everybody. This video is a follow-up to the Nordic Tug for Sale video. We're going to go through the buying process of the boat, which will include the out-of-the-water survey inspection, a good look at the bottom. We'll take you out on the initial owner's inspection sea trial and document a couple of very small items that we discovered in the boat that needed to be rectified, which of course were done immediately. The vendor being incredibly proactive and a super guy. Just do a quick walk around of the underwater surface of the vessel. We lifted her at Royal Van, very convenient. Had a quick look. We gave the bottom a quick pressure blast so that the surveyor could have a good look at the underside, and we didn't find any flaws. She has a 2-propeller bow thruster, counter-rotating, which is nice. Everything's in good shape. A bit of a buildup of bottom paint, but that's not really a big deal. Great gloss on the hull. She's never had any incidents or underwater damage. We replaced the zincs as courtesy for the buyer. We took all of the prop coat off the propeller so the surveyor could have a really good look at the condition of the metal and replace the collar zinc. We do this anyway, just to make sure that people can feel comfortable with what they're buying. Got a new zinc on the rudder. Prop's in great shape. It tapped out really well, nice and clean, with the can of Pettit prop spray. So no issues whatsoever. So right here, we're going to take you on the sea trial. So enjoy. Operationally, the boat is excellent. We did, however, discover that the stainless steel strut that supports the exhaust had sheared over time, so we had it repaired and electropolished and reinstalled. We also removed the holding tank sensors and cleaned them, flushed the tank and treated it with an enzyme so the new owners could start fresh, as it were. So with a very amicable and quick purchase process out of the way, it was time to take the boat to her new owners. They were understandably very excited to receive her, so we set out very early one morning in the beginning of January to get her down to Anacortes to import her into the US. Now, this was made very easy because both the buyers and the sellers were exceptional people, superbly easy to work with, very supportive. It was fantastic. So we set out between a couple of storm systems, expecting light winds and reasonable weather. The previous day had been exceptionally windy, and we actually moved our delivery day one day back to accommodate some expected high winds. We had a great time with some great views, so follow along as we go to Anacortes. There'll be a number of shots here, and I really hope you enjoy it. Well, here we are. It's a beautiful sunrise in good old Georgia Strait. We're on the 37-foot Nordic Tug. We left the dock in the harbor around 6:30 in the morning. And we are now just before 8 o'clock, and we are steaming along southbound. So our journey today is about 65 miles. It took us from our dock here, and we're going all the way down to here, Anacortes, to deliver the vessel.
Very nice people. And we're presently just past the North Arm Jetty, so we're in this neighborhood right here, headed south. Very cold outside. It's about 8 degrees below zero. We're cruising about 10 knots. The boat has a 380 Cummins, so we're humming along pretty well. Once again, I'm all alone out here. But so far it's looking pretty good. We've had some vicious winds lately, but today we might have a bit of a little, shall we say, abatement. So that's that. So far so good. So we're still steaming along. We're just off the Middle Arm Jetty out here. And it's funny, you know, because we're steaming towards Sandheads, but when you look out the window, it looks like we're going to Japan. Yeah, like, you'd think we'd be heading over in this direction, but that would lead us into grief. Just over there, you can't really see it, as the Middle Arm buoy. And how often do you see ice on the windows from the wipers? Anyway, just steaming along, doing about 10.5 knots. No problems yet. Beautiful morning. Shortly after 10, and over there is the end of Point Roberts, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is good. We're doing just over 10 knots. So this boat right now is burning about 7 gallons an hour. We're doing about 10 knots over the ground. So Point Roberts is here, so we're somewhere in this neighborhood here. This is my ditch bag. It's got all my ID and portable radio and stuff like that, although as cold as it is, I don't think it would help too much. So you got some ice on the inside of the glass here. And interestingly, the ocean is frozen on the Thames. Check out this view. I mean, what a day. Got a little bit of a snotty head sea. It's nothing to worry about. Trying to get a nice stable shot of the Yacht. That's Point Roberts. And we're steaming right into the sun. You just see Mount Baker there. Big lump. Anyway. Ice on the window there, and it's freezing around the wipers. It's about 10 degrees below freezing, but so far so good. Looks like we got about 14 knots of wind on the port bow. There's a lot of this freezing fog. We're steaming through these patches of freezing fog. So over on the right, that's the bottom of the Canadian Gulf Islands, Saturn Island there. Making pretty good time. Can't really complain. Well, it's about 10:30 now. We're just out in the bottom end of the strait here. Look on this guy. About even with the east point, the bottom of Saturn Island there. Picked up a little bit of a head sea and about 6 knots of wind off the port bow. Really an interesting day. We're still doing about 10 knots. Souche is over that way, and that's the east point there. So we're headed for Lummi Island. We're just going to go around around the Alden Bank, which is up ahead of us, and then that darker spot you see there is Lummi Island. The whole port side of the boat is completely covered in ice. I'm going to try and show you without falling overboard. Getting too wet. Check this out. It is cold. But we're nice and warm in here at least. Little chunkers, nothing serious. May catch up in a bit. Interesting condition here. We've got a wind-driven ice fog on the water. It's coming up to Alden Bank. If you can see that. Ocean is quite white. You can see it outside with a little better. Very strange. Yeah, things are getting a little more frisky after that ice fog's dissipated. Just coming past Alden Bank. Got 20 knots on the port bow. We're getting quite a lot of icing. See it there. Boat's riding well. Doing about 12 knots over the ground at least, so we picked up a bit of current. So it's running against the wind, so I'm going to try to cuddle up to Lummi Island when I get there and try to get a lee there. See how it goes. A lot of ice on the door now. Okay, back again. Yeah, the wind's really picking up. About 28 knots now. We're running for Lummi Island, the lee of Lummi. Picked up a good current behind us though, which is nice. See how it goes. It's 11:45 and coming into the lee of Lummi Island here. You can see the ice on the rails, the wiper motors. That's crazy. Been about 33 knots of wind there for a little while off the port bow. So I've been racing this ship docking tug over here. We're going to try to cuddle up to the lee of Lummi Island. The sea has gotten a little better. We're still doing almost 11 knots, which is good. I don't know if you can see it. If you look over at the island over here, see all that white stuff? That's ice built up on the side of the island from the spray. It's really quite incredible. Anyway, we're on schedule. Quite impressed with this boat. The wipers are great. The defrost on the window works really well. It's actually quite warm in here with the S-mark. So I got to deal with this guy and get a passing strategy. So we'll come back in a little bit. Easy the difference a little bit of a lee of an island makes. The rope tying our anchor onto the windlass is a ice sculpture. A lot of water over the bow. So that's Lummi. We've stepped it up a bit. The passing strategy with the response there. So we got around him. We just had to step up our speed up to 2400 to get ahead. These guys are pretty busy out here doing ship docking and probably some search and rescue. Boat's running well. We're doing 12.5 knots right now. Just here by Lummi Island. Oh, right here. So we're in the home stretch, hopefully. Well, I guess we're in the home stretch. Certainly flattened out. You go from 32 knots of wind over the port bow. This door, incidentally, is now frozen shut. Whole side of the boat looks like it's frosted. See all the ice up there? So here we are. Just come through past Vancouver Island, so we're on the final stretch to Anacortes. And we'll go into Anacortes Marina and tie up and report to US Customs. So we're doing okay. Time now is 12:37. Managed to use the Rome app to get reported in. Still doing over 10 knots. No wind. Yeah, all in all, a pretty good trip. I guess the next one will be from the dock, or maybe one more.
Well, we made it safely into Anacortes and tied up, and I can tell you my hands were numb after handling the lines. It was a great trip, though.
Oh, we made it safely to Anacortes. I'm taking my life in my hands. This amount of ice it's caked on the side of this boat is just incredible. She really... Oh, what a cold day. Well, we made it. Pretty nice boats here. And I think that's Anthony's. Well, another one in the bank.
So, of course, after a great meal at Anthony's, I had to go on a dock walk in Anacortes and spied this really terrific Romsdal trawler, built in the Netherlands in the 60s, I think. Steel and looks like brand new. Amazing. Or how about this cool Victory Tug? Really salty. This kind of boat just kind of speaks to me, and I like looking at them. I can't afford them, of course, but it's always fun to look. So I carried on wandering around, and I saw one of Mr. Tollefson's green benches, twin to the one at Louisa that I sat on a number of years ago. Always good to pay tribute to the great man himself. I'll leave you with some great photos of our trip, some landscapes and the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And it brings to me the reasons why we enjoy boating so much. The vendor of Adventurous is a superb guy. He was just a true gentleman to deal with and maintained the boat beautifully from new. The buyers are a delightful couple. They made me feel wonderfully at home when I spent time with them, and I thank them so much. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing, and thank you for watching.